The schools are set to reopen on Wednesday. Attention is turning to learner and school readiness across Gauteng. While many parents are preparing for the new academic year, others are still waiting for placement confirmations. Thousands of grade 1 and grade 8 learners have not yet been enrolled in schools. Officials maintain that work continues to accommodate the remaining learners. We now speak to Gauteng Education Department spokesperson Steve Mabona. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. Can you give us an update on where the learner of placement is at this stage as we try and get a sense of what is happening to some of the learners who still have not been allocated schools? Okay, we seem to have a bit of some difficulty there connecting with Steve Mabona. Of course, we will try him again in a short while just to get a sense of some of the main contributing factors when it comes to placing some learners across Gauteng school, as just under 5,000 learners are still without school placement. We understand that Steve Mabona is back. Steve, afternoon to you once again. Talk to us about how far the process is when it comes to placing some learners who are still without schools.
Well, thanks very much, Happy New Year, and all our viewers. We continue with the process of placing the outstanding number of learners. As you know, that we are preparing to open schools on the 14th. We want to reduce those numbers, even if we were to have fewer of those that we are still struggling, but we have a plan that we will have temporary measures to make sure that those that are not accommodated, they are in the classroom while waiting for the permanent placement into the schools that we are finalizing space at.
What would you say are some of the main factors contributing to the delays in placing some learners? I mean, we've heard all sorts of stories as parents complain that they are still waiting. They are anxious. They don't know what to say to the young, enthusiastic learner who's hoping to get started with the school year.
No, the young learner should be accommodated, because when you look at our numbers, those grade 1 figures are lower than the grade 8 learners. So it tells you that the pressure is within the high school process because of many reasons. I mean, there are parents that cannot afford private or independent schools. They want us to accommodate them. There are those that will be coming from other provinces. So that's why we have a higher number on grade 8. But on grade 1, the number is lower. So we are comforted that by the time we start with schooling, we should be done. Probably.
Okay. Okay, we are struggling with that connection.
The learners, but also there are projects that we are finalizing, that time we reach the term that we are building.
Okay, so Steve, while we're still hoping that this line will connect and stay with us for much longer, we also understand that some of the other areas of concern contributing to this outcome, an outcome that we continue to see over the years, where every single year, at the start of every single academic year, there are learners who are still not placed in schools. Does infrastructure and the building of new schools that were set to be released and unveiled, does that play a role in the number of learners who still have not been allocated schools and could have very well been allocated had the schools been ready? What is the situation there?
Yes, significantly it does receive quite a sizable number of new learners on a yearly basis. So though we are increasing capacity, but because of the pressure, sometimes there are delays even in the projects that the Department of Infrastructure is building. Because of the delays, we then find us lagging behind. But we have introduced a system where outside what Department of Infrastructure is doing, we are also having our own projects that we are continuing with the process of building, which we're going to be unleashing this year.
So how many schools are yet to be unveiled, and with the plan that they would be ready for the start of this academic year?
For this academic year, there are 3 schools that we will launch.
Okay, let's thank you for your
And
time, Steve. The line is not holding
hoping
too well.
that in the next financial year, we'll also have more schools that will be coming from the Department of.
Okay, Gauteng Education Department spokesperson Steve Mabona, we do apologize for that difficulty with that connection. Not so solid, but hoping that you got a sense of what he had to say.